Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are actually going to be showing you guys some of the tips and tricks of how we make our embroidery machine embroider better with hats. One thing that I was actually taught by a good friend who has been embroidering for 10 plus years, is there's a thing called a coin trick. All it requires is a simple penny. And what we do with that is we take that penny and we put it underneath the arm. What it does is it elevates the arm a little bit higher by pushing down on the railing of the hat driver. And so what it does is it allows the needle and the presser foot to be a little bit closer to the cap, and it doesn't have that clunking noise that you hear whenever the needle's coming up and down. It's clunk, 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 clunk. So that's something that I do, and I permanently have that adjusted on all of my machines because all it does is it affects the rail. It doesn't affect the actual arm, the floating arm. So what I want to do today is I want to show you guys how we make that adjustment, how to do that, and we're going to get started. So I have this DJI Pocket 3. We use it a lot for a lot of our footage here at the shop, for a lot of our content creations. We highly recommend these if you guys ever get a chance to get one of these for recording footage. It's really good. It's got a built-in gimbal, and it comes, if you get the creator combo, it actually comes with a mic. So let's get started, guys. Okay guys, so this trick is called the penny trick. I do have this dime that I was going to show you guys, and what you're essentially going to be doing is you're going to be giving this rail a space between the arm and the rail. And ultimately what that's going to do is that's going to allow you to push this railing down so that when the hat driver goes in, it's going to give you a tighter space between the needle plate and the hat. So when the needle comes down, it's not going to be as clunking and it won't cause so many needle breaks. So what you do is you take your Allens and you loosen up this, that one, and I think you loosen this one up as well. Don't take them all the way out, you just loosen them up, and this is going to create a gap right in here. And so what you do at that point is you take your coin and you insert it inside of there, and then you tighten it back up. And what that does is it creates a gap and pushes this railing down. So here's an example of one that doesn't have the coin underneath, and you can tell that there's a pretty big gap in between there. You see the gap between the hat driver and the arm? There's a gap right in there versus this one that I have already adjusted. This one is a lot tighter, so that means that the hat is actually closer to this needle plate. It may be hard to see on video, but there's really not much of a gap there. Versus this one over here, which I just bought this machine not too long ago, and it hasn't been adjusted. See how there's a pretty big gap right there? Along with the coin trick, you can also adjust these right here. This one, this one, this one, and this one. And what you want to do is you want to loosen those. When you loosen those, you're able to bring this hat driver down. And what it's going to do is it's also going to close that gap at the top, allowing your hat to be closer to the needle plate. When you do those two things, your hat driver should be better adjusted and more suitable for doing hats. And the nice thing is that you don't ever have to make any adjustments if you're doing flats as well. You don't have to readjust it later on. This coin trick will only affect hats. It will not affect flats.
Kick.
So guys, this was just a quick video to show you guys what the coin trick is. This coin trick is really beneficial. I know that ever since we started doing this coin trick, we made the adjustment to all the machines. It has truly helped us with the embroidery process in general. We no longer get that clunking noise that we would get originally at the start of things, which is pretty annoying because basically what's happening is it's breaking needles. Once we got that down, we noticed that our hat production has been a lot better. We're no longer struggling as much as we were with hat. We can actually speed up the machine to the typical 800 max speed. And usually if the hats are flats and they don't have the seam in the middle, which is typically your 6-panel hats, we don't usually have any issues at that point. As far as needles go, we definitely do use the titanium needles. We use size 12, of course the DBX K5 needles, and we noticed that we really don't have any problems whenever we use them. The most important thing really is to make sure that you're using the correct needle plate. The needle plate that has the slightly more raised bump is actually the one that works better for hats. We usually just keep that needle plate on there and we usually don't move it. It seems to work better for us with flats and hats, and it also is just a little easier because you don't have to take it off and put a new one back on. So there are a few other things that we will be working on and teaching you guys as well. We do this to help everybody out, to help us grow as a channel, but also to give others some insight on things that we can do to improve your guys' embroidery as well. We do like showing these things to everyone because we've been there. We struggle and you get so frustrated where you just want to rip your hair out and just throw the machine away. Or sometimes you question yourself like, why did I even buy this machine? But in all honesty, it's just a little bit of trial and error. From my background working as a machine operator for a company for 6 years, it's really been a blessing to troubleshoot the machines, which is what I was basically paid to do. Make sure that the machine stays running good and troubleshooting whenever something goes wrong, trying to pinpoint and diagnose what it is that's causing the problem. And one thing that I've learned is that sometimes you just have to inspect everything from the top all the way to the bottom until you figure out what's the problem. Our journey hasn't been easy, but I know that we definitely have learned a little bit along the way every day doing embroidery here and there. And we want to shed some light on some of these tricks that have really been helping with productivity. So we're going to be making another video here soon. I believe the next video we're going to be making is going to be covering how to do a proper H test. I know it's pretty basic, but a lot of people still have questions on what's good and what's not good. Also showing you guys how you can get a feel of pulling on the thread, because a lot of times if you get really familiar with your machine, you'll be able to pull the threads down through and you'll be able to feel how much tension it has on the top thread. It'll give you a really good starting point as to where you need to set your adjustments to. So we're excited to show you guys. We're excited to continue this journey together and just grow with you guys. We appreciate you guys watching, and as always, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. It really helps us grow as a channel so we can keep pushing this content out for you guys and teaching you guys what we've learned throughout the years. Bye guys.